안녕하세요. 여러분의 협력자 LA 고아라입니다. 저는 지금 여기 AWS 존에 와 있는데요. 지나가다가 굉장히 재미있는 것을 발견했어요. 우리가 퀄리티를 체크해야 되잖아요. 근데 이거에 대해서 자동적으로 체크해 줄 수 있다고 하는데요. 한번 만나보겠습니다. Hello Justin, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah, so what's your take about? This seems interesting.
Yeah, so what you're seeing here is a machine learning end-to-end solution that allows a customer to use any item, any component, pass it by in a manufacturing process, and inspect it in a couple different ways. Right here, we're using a laser displacement sensor that creates a 3D point cloud. Right? That 3D point cloud is innate at doing a few different things. One, it can tell exacting dimensions of a part. We then take that image and then we run it through AWS, look out for vision, and check for defects. Those defects can be limitless, from anything from surface defects to defects that you see here where you might have something bent or out of place, components that are missing, component scratches that are on the surface. Those defects can be trained in the machine learning model.
Then I have a question that this is way better because for a defection check, usually used to be so many people are checking a game, but still there are something remain. So cost-wise and then the quality-wise, this is much better. But still, when it comes to when we think of machine learning, there can be some cases still it's not catching. So how do you manage with that?
Well, I think it comes down to how you train your model first and foremost, because when you look at providing any type of image to the machine learning modeling training part, the fact of the matter is you have to have a set of images that allows you different variability. So let's say the component under one lighting condition might represent a high degree of confidence for that machine learning model, where a different lighting condition may harm the model. So you have to train those models with the different variability in the image. What's interesting about what we're doing here is that this laser displacement system doesn't require anything. The background, the types of background where it's a conveyor or this type of part here doesn't actually affect the image that it creates. So unlike a camera with a light, we're controlling what that image looks like here using laser displacement. So that image is the same every single time.
Then after doing this, how do you feel sure that it's gonna be okay? Because do you have any human beings rechecking again after that or no?
I think there's actually a good customer use case to where a customer of ours is making up to 20 million different types of parts, right? Throughout the process, those parts are tracked. And in that process, we're looking at an automated inspection in several parts of that work in progress. So that as we find it from an automated standpoint, whether it's being manufactured in a certain area or put together as part of a work in progress, we're finding those errors, and then the human inspection might be the last thing that happens. Maybe it's a cursory inspection to where you're not having to employ workers along that work in progress to look at every little detail. You're doing a lot that's automated, and then maybe doing a cursory final inspection by a human at that point.
Yeah, sure thing. So still, then there can be the possibility that there's one or two people still can go through it, maybe.
Sure, I think it depends. It really depends on the type of part that you're making, and it depends on the type of surface you're inspecting. There's one application where I was working with a customer that manufactured guitars, and that surface is so unique, that finish might be so unique that it could take a trained eye to inspect, even though you're doing a lot of automation along the way. For certain components like PC boards, things that are exacting in regards to where the components are placed, things that you can identify as a defect, maybe scratches to the surface, things that are missing on the surface, that's something that you could probably automate the entire way.
Okay, then I have two questions. Number one is then how long does it take that it get trained? So of course, I guess depends on any product or components, but approximately.
Yeah, so in general, to train a machine learning model, when we offer this for our customers, where we do complementary feasibility, where we get their parts, we understand their defects, and we start training those models. Generally, it takes us about half a day to train those models. Now, that's a big departure from other machine learning algorithms, which take months because you're collecting so many images. The power of our collaboration with AWS, we're needing more like 100 images or 150 images, not thousands of images, to train the model.
Wow. So then, like, how it works then?
That's the secret.
Okay. So secret we cannot reveal, but I'm curious, like, how it could be possible? Because
AWS has a really powerful machine learning algorithm that they have in the cloud that utilizes millions of different models to model against. And so as you're putting, as you're training your model with, let's say, 100 images or 200 images, you're actually training that model against all of the models that AWS has in its library. So you're not doing something bespoke all the time. You're not doing something just for that application. You're using all of the models that currently exist in the machine learning library of AWS against what you're providing. So that's why it works so fast.
I see. Okay. Then the second question is the pricing, because for the client it's very important. So compared to the price and cost overall. So when we say with just like a human, it was maybe the cost was 10, and with like yours, like maybe how much is going to be?
Yeah, I mean, pricing depends on the type of application, right?
Sure.
But one thing I will say is a lot of customers have invested a lot of money into camera infrastructure, inspection types of equipment. The one interesting thing about what we do with AWS as a partner is we can either help customers install brand new cameras, brand new laser, displacement systems. What if they already have something there? You know, how do you provide more value for the cameras, let's say, that they already have? This is camera agnostic. We can take our machine learning algorithm and use it for any camera that a customer either already has in place or if they need new ones. So that's one way to kind of help with the pricing scenario. The other way is from a services standpoint, this particular AWS service costs about $100 per month per camera. So it's fairly low cost as far as an entry point to get started outside of the hardware.
I see. So I think also depends on the size of the company, and then by the like components, whatever. I think it all varies.
Well, it varies, but if you have a customer that has invested, let's say prior to engaging with us, and they've invested in a lot of camera technology, that might be just reading a barcode, or just doing OCR, or just doing some small piece of value, I can still take that image that device is getting and run it through our machine learning algorithms. And now we're adding value to something that's already there.
Let's put it this, like so some clients from maybe Asian country, because I'm from Asia, for example. Yeah, so I want your product to be installed in my company, and then how it's going to process, like if someone is coming from Seattle, or then what if? Yeah.
So Denali is a 32-year-old company. We have about 850 employees worldwide. We operate in 14 different countries in regards to having physical locations, and we've successfully installed really complex applications like this in about 26 different countries. So we have a global scale.
Yes.
So we're able to engage with the customer, understand what they're trying to do, prove out the technology for them on a complementary basis, and then build a pilot and do production at scale worldwide.
Oh, I see. Wow, then when your company was established then?
32 years ago.
I see. Wow, long time.
We started in the IT services and solutions business,
Yes.
primarily for large enterprise customers. And then as the years have progressed, we've started to get not only involved with the IT infrastructure, but the OT infrastructure. So the operational technologies, cameras, robots, laser displacement sensors, machine learning edge devices. So as that has kind of continued to gain strength and needs for customers, we've been able to provide that along the way.
So then what was the like a kind of motivation or nudge to develop this?
Customer first. That's the motivation.
Yeah, just like listening to their
Customers have requirements. They are struggling with a lot of different things, including finding enough workers, finding enough skilled workers sometimes, to where they're trying to do certain things and they don't have enough, they can't fill enough of the jobs. So they are forced to automate. And we're listening to our customers. They need these types of solutions. They want to retain their customers by providing the highest quality manufactured parts that they can. And in order to do that, we need automated inspection.
I see. Awesome. Because I'm from automotive industry, especially like a car components, you know, it's very sensitive. Like to any like a car brand, if there is a defect, then it all comes to this like a components company, and there is like a price is very huge to cover that. So it seems like it's a really good solution.
Yeah, we've done a couple different automotive applications,
Yes.
and you're exactly right. You bring up a great point. When you look at some of the applications that we're seeing automotive applications, standard manufacturing applications, a lot in pharmaceuticals, food, anywhere you can detect an anomaly early on to where it doesn't cost you when it leaves the door.
So you are a guru of automation, it seems
I've
like.
been doing this for 27 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's all I've ever done.
So what made you to get into this automation part?
It's a long story. So I've been doing automation for 27 years. It's all I've ever done: machine vision, machine learning, robotics. And what keeps me kind of involved is the challenges that customers face are constantly needing creative solutions like what you see here. At a price to performance ratio that makes sense to them. And that's a challenge that continues. As customers start to enable and empower their facilities with this type of technology, those challenges that they continue to present are exciting. They're hard. And I get to solve them being creative, using these types of end-to-end solutions. It's great. Keeps me going.
Awesome. And then I guess you are also like keep studying, right? Because things are evolving, and how do you manage that?
Well, I think it's, I have to tell you, I don't know how I manage that. I will tell you that it takes a lot of work.
Yes.
And you want to stay on the front end of the technology. It takes a lot of preparation in regards to being able to test some of the devices, both a hardware or a software type of solution, to actually see if it does work for a customer. There's a lot of theories in these types of trade shows, but can you actually make it work from end to end? So the way I stay on top of that is just working hard and trying to test this on behalf of customers, so that they don't have to do that work. I do that work for them.
Then what's your vision?
Well, my vision today is to enable this AWS machine learning platform to be as consumable for a customer as possible, not only from a performance standpoint, but from an ease of deployment standpoint. How do we give them, harness the power of this partnership that we have with AWS and make it something that's easy to deploy, easy to use, easy to purchase, easy and effective for their application and their operations.
Awesome. So really like a customer oriented, and that there's no doubt that your companies keep growing and then go global.
That's right. That's
Okay.
right.
Thank you so much, Justin. And then maybe do you want to say goodbye, maybe, or like a last word that you want to do? Maybe there are many companies who are struggling with like a defect codes. Maybe there's something that you
Sure.
want to share.
If you're struggling with these type of applications and are interested in machine learning technologies, contact Denali. Happy to help.
Awesome.
Bye-bye.
Bye.